Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you so much to everyone who liked my videos, to everyone who left a positive comment, to everyone who subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you guys so very much, and may God bless you. And to everyone who's here and you still haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you guys waiting for? What are you doing? Please go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you do like it here. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over how my week 9 went. So in week 8, we decided that we are going to get a $1,000 account, a live account, trade it and see how far we can go by the end of the month, if we can afford to buy a funded account or not. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how that went for me. And then also please note that I had started posting videos whenever I take a trade. So I did post a video for the Tuesday's trade. So you can go ahead and look at and watch it if you want to go in depth on how I took the trade and why I took the trade and all that. But then I also include that trade in my weekly review that I'm doing now. So you're gonna also see my Tuesday's trading in my weekly review. So this is what I'm gonna be doing going forward. I am going to be posting whenever I get a chance to, or post the daily recap. If I don't get a chance to, still in the weekly review, I'm gonna be including the entire week. Okay, so yeah, so let's get into the charts and then we'll come back for the commentary. So let's get into the charts. So I'll just go through the calendar quickly. I know that I did post a video showing the trade I took on Tuesday, but then I noticed that not a lot of people watched that. So I'll just quickly go through the charts for the whole week. Yeah. Okay, so on Monday we had a bank holiday, but it was only for the French. So I wasn't sure whether to stay out or to trade, so I just did watch the charts, but I didn't get any trades anyway. And then Wednesday we had CPI, and I do like to stay away from CPI. I like to be very careful when it's CPI because it's high impact news. So my strategy there was I'm gonna take a trade, but then make sure by 2:15 I'm out of the trade, and make sure the trade is a very like A1 setup. And then on Thursday PPI also very high impact, so I also needed to use the same strategy. And then on Friday not very high impact, and anyway by 10 a.m. I'm out of the trades most of the time. So this is 8:30 New York time, which means that's around when New York starts and London is over. So we can take trades and then make sure by the time news comes 15 minutes before we're out of the trade. That's our strategy. Okay, so let's get straight to the charts. Okay, so yeah, don't worry about this, I'll explain. Okay, so let's go to the daily chart first. So yeah, price is finally done what I expected it to do all this while. I was expecting price to come to the sell side liquidity and the sell side liquidity and then start going up and take out this weekly gap, which is somewhere around here. And I was expecting at least it can come here and then go up, but as you can see, this candle is full, so maybe it's going for this liquidity. So yeah, so we might keep our bias. We'll see how this candle closes. So yeah, so basically for the week, our week started on here. I wasn't very sure if price is gonna continue going up. I wasn't sure. My bias was now confused, but initially my bias was we need to go down, but at this point I was confused because last week price just did something different. It ended up ranging a lot and then going up and then doing this. So I was now a little bit confused, but I still carried my this bias of shorts. So yeah, so our bias for this week is shorts, as you can see. But then it was something else this week for me. So let me go to the entries I took first. So let's start with the entry I took on the 9th. Okay. Let me just show you what H1 looked like. H1, I used this fair value gap, but as you can see, it's already been touched. And yeah, price came in, and this is where I took my entry. So let me just show you why I did that. If you go to M15, this is a strategy I've been using, and it's been working for me. Okay, I had tested it, and in April it worked. But then this is not what ICT teaches. So please just be aware that this is not what ICT teaches, but this is something that I had put in my strategy so that I don't have to focus so much on the daily bias. But I never shared this with you guys because I knew that it might not work, because this is not what ICT teaches. So what I used to do is every time in the morning when I wake up, I will mark the 15-minute low or high just before the session starts, or as the session starts, London. So if it's going up, then it means that for me, my bias will change to up. If it's going down, then it means my bias changes to down. So as you can see, on Monday, I thought price was gonna go up, but look what it did. And then on Tuesday, I also thought again price is gonna go up because of this, but look what it did to me. And then on Wednesday, I also thought price is gonna go up, but it did go up later, but look what it did. And then on Thursday, it did what I expected it to do. Just life. And then Friday, it did the opposite. So we can conclude that this strategy of mine does not work, and we need to throw it in the bin. But anyway, this is what I was using, so I'll show you which trades I entered and what happened after entering them. And then so let's go to M5. I'll show you the trades. Let me show you guys everything. But I didn't share this with you guys because I knew in the back of my mind that what I'm doing is wrong. I knew. This is why I didn't want to share it with you. But I think you always wondered how I know that price is going to go up or go down. Because in April, it really did. Maybe I was just lucky, because I was using this as sort of like an indicator, yeah, if I can put it that way. So yeah, so on Tuesday, I was expecting price to go up, and I was very confident because April it was working out. So this is my midnight open. I see teaches this, and then price traded up. I wasn't even worried about when price is trading up. I was just looking for a POI here, and then I'll take it up because my indicator is saying what is going up. So what did I do? I went into the fair value gap. And then this is an H1, but it's very far, as you can see. And then it gave me this, and I entered, and boom, out. I wasn't very much stressed, but I think I shared with you guys that I did move my stop loss. Yes, I did. I did move my stop loss, and I ended up losing more than I was supposed to lose on this day, because something went wrong. I think if you watch the other video which I posted this week, it explains it. I really can't remember exactly, but I ended this day with 982 from 1009 from last week. And then on Wednesday, because my so-called indicator, this one, was saying we are going up, what did I do? I just said I didn't get a trade. And then I thought, yeah, my indicator was correct because now price has gone up. when PPI was announced, but guess what, I was wrong. And then on Wednesday, my indicator was right. But at this point, oh no, this is Thursday, this was Wednesday. But at this point, I've realized that this indicator does not work. So on this day, I did not, now I went back to see what ICT says. And I decided, you know what, I'm not going to be using the M15 anymore since I'm entering on M5. I'm just going to be using H1 as my mid time frame. So I went on H1, and then I was expecting price to take out liquidity. And then I'm going to what? I'm going to enter the trade. I'm going to explain the correct thing that I was supposed to do later. But this is my thought process. I was expecting price to take out this liquidity, which is on H1, right? And it did. So I thought now we are going up. But no, can you see this candle is so huge? And it's showing that we have so much downward momentum, but I'm busy entering what, and I could see it as I was entering the trade that this momentum is too much, but now I need to follow the correct way of doing things. But I am implementing the correct way the wrong way, if you can hear, no, I hope I'm making sense. So yeah, so I ended up seeing that, and then I looked for a fair value gap. Look at how far it was. But it wasn't touched or anything. But look at how far it was. And then I went on M5. Busy complicating my life. I like complicating my life. Like it. And then I went, what do? I found an entry. I think the break of structure for me was here. Can you see? Can you see this, guys? Oh yeah. What am I doing? My break of structure was here, and this is a fair value gap according to me, and the entry, boom, you're out. And on this very day, yesterday, price, I didn't have Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi was down at the moment I took the trade. So at that very moment when this was playing out, my magic keys just stopped working because it needs a proper internet connection. So it just stopped working. I don't know, something was wrong with my data. So I ended up going to calculate so I tried to enter with the magic keys. It didn't trigger me in. So I needed now to calculate the lot size. I calculated it wrong. I entered the first trade and I saw that the stop loss is going to be too big. Then I ended up losing $2.86. And then I calculated it right. But then I ended up pressing twice, and then I entered two trades. I had to close the other one, and then so I lost a lot more than I was supposed to lose, and I risked a lot because my calculation was wrong anyway, and I ended up losing. You see, I'll just link the trades that I took on this day, and I'll also link the trades that I took on Tuesday. So this week I ended up losing, I think, about 4%, guys. 4%. Imagine. Just imagine losing 4%. I'll link it also. So our balance is now at 962 because of all this mess. So that's me for this week. Okay. And then now let me show you what I was supposed to do. Let me remove this indicator of mine. Let's throw these things in the bin where they belong. Let's throw these things in the bin where they belong. Let us not try to be ICT, eh? Let's just learn what he's teaching us. Okay, let's throw these things in the bin. Okay, so now we don't care about M5 and M15 anymore. So removing it. So now we go to H1. For the week. So basically on H1, this is what I was supposed to do, right? So on this is Friday. So on Monday, price took out this liquidity. So Monday's trading, we're supposed to now start taking shorts when this liquidity was taken out, right? But remember, this was a bank holiday. And then on Tuesday, we do have a fair value gap on H1. We do have this fair value gap. So when price entered this fair value gap, we could take shorts as well. And then on I just want to move it a bit to the side. And then on Wednesday, price took out this liquidity, but this happened in New York. We could take short, but also we have this fair value gap here. Where price entered during Asia, and then also where we could start taking shorts. And then which day is this? This is now Thursday. On Thursday, which was yesterday, we're supposed to trade from this fair value gap. So you can see here, it's making. So this is all I needed to mark according to ICT's teaching. It's either price takes out liquidity or price is in an H1 liquidity. So that's all I needed to do, right? And then Friday, which is today, what do we have? We have liquidity, right? So if you go to M5 and try to take entries, I still am not sure how to take exits, but I guess we'll figure it out together. So a surprise took out liquidity here, came down. As much as it broke structure, it didn't leave any fair value gap, so it was no time to enter there. Then it went up again, came down, went up, and then now it broke structure and left all this. It left us all this. So we could have entered a trade here and then taken it. So I'm still not sure if we should take 2R or use the fib like I used to. So let me see if we use the fib. The structure break happened here. Okay. And then our entry will be at this candle. Then we'll put it above the second candle. And then I'll take our exit here, which is not the best. So maybe here would have gone for a 2R. Okay, so here on Monday would have gone for a 2R, but this was messy. And then on Tuesday, because it was a bank holiday, and then on Tuesday, we're in a fair value gap. We enter the fair value gap price. Price did break structure and left this fair value gap, and then we enter here, and then above the second candle, and then do we take a 2R or we use the fib, I think it would give us the same results anyway. So 2R. And then on Wednesday, price to click it there. We did have a fair value gap which happened in Asia. We did have a break of structure here, but price didn't come back, so this was a no trade day. Then Thursday, we are in a fair value gap, price broke structure here, so the break of structure is right there. And then our fair value gap, we don't have a fair value gap here. We do have a small one. And what I do with these small candles, right, I'll just make it bigger so we can see properly. You can see there's a fair value gap here, right? I'm not just making it up. So it's left this fair value gap, right? So difficult to draw. So but then what I do with these candles that are indecision, I put my entry at the body of the candle, but I first make sure that there's a gap here. So yeah, so we would have entered this candle, put our stop loss at the above the second candle, and then here I think we can use the fib. I'm not so sure. Let's see. I think we can use the fib if it's at least 2R or more, but if it's less than 2R, we just go for 2R. And then I hope someone is keeping count. Then today is Friday. Price took liquidity and then broke structure here. And then we have a fair value gap here. Here I think I would have just gone for a 2R because it's Friday and don't want, and this stop loss would have been so big anyway. Let's put the fib just for consistency. Our fib would have been right there. Okay, 2. So Friday would have gotten 2.3. Let's go. Thursday would have gotten 4. 6. Tuesday would have gotten 2. That would have been now 8. Monday another 2. 10% for the week. Wouldn't that been nice? But this is the best case scenario. So if you'd have walked out of the markets with 5%, it's not bad. So yeah, so this is what we were supposed to do. Yeah, so let's so that's basically my charts for the week. Yeah guys, that's my charts for the week. So you've seen how the week went for me. It didn't go so well. So on Tuesday I did take 2 trades, which is something that I wasn't supposed to do according to the strategy. I was not supposed to take 2 trades at all. And then on Thursday, the trade that I took had completely changed the strategy. because it failed me on Monday. And also, yeah, I realized that it failed me because it was bound to fail. So I changed it, but then when I changed it, I didn't give myself enough time to practice and get to understand before taking the trade. So I ended up implementing it in a wrong way, and I ended up losing the trade anyway. Okay, so yeah, so that's what happened. And also I noticed that I also was moving my stop loss because I was too confident with this strategy because it had been working before. So I ended up moving my stop loss, thinking that maybe if I move my stop loss, maybe, you know, which was bad on my part on Tuesday. And I also took 2 trades. I was supposed to only take 1. And then on Thursday, I shouldn't have entered the market without fully understanding what strategy I was trading. So that was also wrong of me. Yeah, so yeah, and the over risking was not really my fault. It was the magic keys just stopped functioning at the moment where the trade was happening. So that wasn't my fault. I was supposed to lose 1% on Thursday, but I ended up losing 2%. And on Tuesday I was supposed to lose 2%, and I ended up losing 2% and then some. So overall we lost 4% for the week. Yeah, about 5% for the week, because now we're at 962, which is a complete mess up. Yeah. So yeah, so there are certain things that I've noticed that I just want to talk about. Yeah, so for me to get to where I am today, to get to this point where I am today, where I'm starting to see a little bit of profitability, although I'm not yet seeing consistency, and there are other things that have improved in my life this year. So what happened at the beginning of the year is before. Okay, let me just take you back. This is not anything to do with trading. This is just me sharing some personal things. So yeah, so at some point I realized that, you know, when you have people who are close to you, rather you hold them as people who are close to you, who you want to have a relationship, who you want to keep in your life. But these people, at any point, they can decide they don't want to have a relationship with you. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want, and you have done nothing wrong to them. So this was happening, and you know, you call up someone, they will tell you, no, I'll call you back, I'll call you back. This is not a romantic relationship, please, okay, don't get me wrong. It's a relative, if I can say it like that. So you call them up, they're too busy to talk to you. You send a message, they block the queue all the time. So you get to a point where you're stressed all the time. You're wondering, why does this person, why doesn't, and you long for that relationship because you've had this relationship practically all your life, and it starts getting to a point where it consumes a lot of your energy and a lot of your mental capital, where you're always thinking, what did I do wrong? And you're constantly trying to manage these people. Like, you're constantly now, okay, fine, maybe it's because they think I talk too much, or maybe it's because I said this, so maybe when I'm around them I should walk around on eggshells and I shouldn't say this. And then at that point they ask you, why? You know, you start removing parts of yourself to make some other people comfortable. So this was going on for a long time with some people in my life, and I was so stressed about it because I'm that kind of person who, when I care, I care. I keep a small circle, so I'm that kind of person that I'm genuine in everything. Like, I come to you correct, and I'm very honest also. So that's also another weak point that I have. So if I see something that is going on in your life that I don't like, or I think will end up in a bad way, I will say it. So people don't really like people who are honest. So I discovered that. So yeah. So basically, that was what was going on. So I got to a point where I just decided, you know what, I'm not gonna call up anyone. I'm not gonna try to message. I'm not going to pursue any relationship. I'm just going to keep the ones that want to be kept. Like, if I call you and call me, that's fine. We are good. We've got our relationship. If I send you a message, you respond. That's it. That's good. We are fine. But if you don't, that's it. I'm not gonna bother you. I'm not gonna look for you, and I'm not gonna care. Not that I hate you, not that I don't care about you. I still do. But at this very moment, I just want to focus on those that deserve my attention. So that's what I did. I cut off everything, and it kind of, it was like a load lifted off my shoulders, like, and I started seeing myself for who I am. I started seeing myself through my own eyes. I stopped always being that, like, looking at myself from their eyes, like trying to alter myself from their perspective. I started seeing myself from my own perspective, like, who am I? What do I want to accomplish? What do I want to do? Why was I put on this earth? What can I do? And I started thinking in that way. This is how this YouTube channel started. I got to a point where I realized, why don't I go ahead and start my YouTube channel? I've always wanted to share my journey anyway. I started my YouTube channel. I started seeing progress in my trading. I started seeing progress in my life. Like, I am a lot less stressed, and I can now see myself for who I am and what I can do. And I am now, and I even started thinking about, I want to write a book. I've always wanted to write a book, so I'm starting to read a lot so that I can get ready for that. It's not happening now, but soon it will happen. I started thinking about certain things that I used to value before, things that make me who I am. Things like, how can I be a change maker? How can I make a positive impact in other people's lives? Looking at other things that are bigger than myself. Because I've gotten rid of this external energy that is not taking me anywhere. You get it? I've dealt with all the people that needed to be dealt with, except I didn't deal with the one person that is very important. The one person that is always with me. The one person that I cannot switch off my phone and they won't call me. The one person that I cannot, that is me. So this week I realized that I need, the problem is not the strategy, the problem is not ICT, the problem is not, it's me. So I sat down with, because on Friday today I decided not to trade at all. I just wanted to think and to reflect and to see where I'm going wrong. Why am I standing in my own way? Why am I complicating something that is so simple? You can see from the trade recap that I'm just complicating things for myself, by myself. I've gotten rid of all the external energy that was blocking my way, but there's also internal energy that can also block my way. So because when we grow up, we were not, like, for me myself, I don't come from a place where there's plenty, or I'm from the middle class or anything like that. We are just an average family where we had a lot of struggles. I won't say my childhood was bad. It was a good childhood. But then when it comes to things like, sometimes there are times when things were not just working out in terms of the thing. Food, it's not enough, clothes, things like that. So you had to make do with what is there. You had to eat what is there. You had to wear what is there. You couldn't keep up with the trends. You couldn't just walk into a shop and get what you want. When you get your pocket money, you go, like when I was in college, when I get my pocket money, I would go to the shop. I won't go and buy what I feel like I want to eat. I'll go and buy something that I know that will last me for a certain duration of time. And I couldn't even afford to go to the cafeteria at some point. But things would get better. Sometimes things would be, it was up and down, up and down. So you come from a place of lack. You don't come from a place of plenty. Like growing up, when you're doing, like when I was in boarding school, like you write a list of things that you need for school, and then you'd sit down with your parents, and then they'll ask you, do you really need this? Do you really need this? And there's some things that you really need, but you know that you're dealing with this amount of money, so you have to cut off some things, and then you end up with a list of the bare basics. You get it? So that is our parents trying to do the best they can to give us what they can give us, right? But then you grow up, and now you get to a point where you have now moved on to maybe the middle class. Now food is no longer an issue. Clothes are no longer an issue. Now you're looking at bigger things, right? But you still have this mentality. You still have this. You're still working from that little girl way to deal with from a place of lack, right? So you get into a shop, you've got a card, it's got enough money. You get into a shop and you're bargaining. Why are you bargaining? Because you're coming from a place of lack. For me, it took me quite a bit of time to get to a point where I just walk into a shop and get everything that I want and leave. I would always sometimes ask myself, do I really need to buy this? I bet it's expensive. But and sometimes you have enough money to give yourself a certain lifestyle, but you are not doing it because you're just accustomed to, yeah, I think you get what I'm trying to say. So now last week, I was starting to see that, there's now light. I can now start seeing that we are getting somewhere. It's within reach now. What happens? You've got the imposter syndrome. You start feeling like, do I really belong here? When you get into the financial markets, it's a place where there's an abundance of you. The possibilities are endless, and you're coming from a place of lack. So even from creating the strategy itself, you're coming from a place of lack. You're not going to do the right thing that you need to do for you to get what you need to get out of the markets, because you feel like you don't belong here. You don't deserve this. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes some of the mistakes that you make is that imposter syndrome. Like you're taking a trade, instead of risking 1% or sticking to your plan, you're going to go ahead and risk more, or you're going to go ahead and stop sticking to your plan because you feel like, what am I doing here? I'm not supposed to be here. So you're going to sabotage yourself before the market sabotage you, because you feel like, I'm gonna fail anyway because I don't belong here. I don't deserve this life that I'm dreaming about. I don't deserve to get the things that are within my reach. You've gotten rid of all the external energy that was telling you that you're gonna fail, you're gonna what, but you still have yourself to deal with. You still have that little girl that had to work from a place of lack. And you need to get yourself from that level to a place where you now tell yourself that, little girl, you deserve the life that you dream of. You deserve everything that the markets can give you. You just have to stick to the plan. You just have to do the right thing that you need to do. So basically, you need to get out of your comfort. You need to get out of that comfort zone, the place where you're used to, where you're used to not having enough, where you get used to just being in a place where you dream about things but you can't really have them. You can have them, but you need to do the right thing, right? So I had to have this conversation with myself, and it's an ongoing conversation. It's not something that you can just tell yourself today and you're fixed, you're okay, and now you're gonna start doing the right things in the markets. But it's a conversation that needed to be had. Stop working from a place of like, we are not there anymore. We are not longer there. We are now in a place where we have put ourselves in a position where there are endless possibilities. Endless. To a point where you can think of yourself as a property owner by next year and you can get there. But you need to stick to the plan, little girl. You can think of yourself as an author and you can get there. But you need to stick to what? To the plan. Stop criticizing yourself. Stop belittling yourself. Stop pushing yourself back, thinking that you can never amount to anything because you come from a place where these things were just a pipe dream. So I had to have that conversation with myself, and I needed to share it with you because you might be going through the same thing. So yeah, so basically this was a tough one, yeah, but I needed to say that. So yeah, so basically this week I have learned a lot about myself. You know, I've learned that I still have a lot of internal work to do. I've done the external work. It has brought me this far, but I still have a lot of internal work to do. And I just need to get out of my own way, do the right thing. You know, like this whole idea of me, the reason why I chose to use M15 as my mid time frame is because I want to have a trade every day, of which that is not what ICT is teaching, but I'm doing it because why? I don't know. So I need to create a different plan altogether, test it, and then come back on Monday and then try to trade it. I don't know if we should continue with the challenge. Maybe let's just continue and see how the month ends. So yeah, so this is what we're going to do for the coming week. We are going to not use M15 anymore. We are using H1, but I need to test it over the weekend and see how it works. And if I feel like I'm ready on Monday, I'm gonna trade it live. And then the other thing that I need to do is just get out of my own way, do things the right way, stop trying to flip-flop and add unnecessary things that are not supposed to be there, trying to sabotage myself because I feel like I'm going to fail anyway. I don't belong here. I don't deserve this. So anyway, let me just go ahead and sabotage myself because the markets are going to sabotage me, because who am I to think that I can get into the financial markets and become a trader and succeed at it? Who am I to think that? So yeah, that's the work that needs to be done. So my takeaway for this week is don't try to do things that are not taught in the course. I think I've done an extensive, like I've shown you like how I try to do things that ICT doesn't even teach. Why? I have no answer to that. You know, you stand in yourself, in your own way, you're sabotaging yourself. For what reason? because all the external energy is out of the way. So who are you going to blame this time around if it's not you? So basically, this is what I've learned. You don't need to over risk. If your stop loss is hit, it's hit. You don't need to move it. Make sure before you start, before I start the trading session, I've got everything in order. My magic keys is working. If it's not, I'll make sure that I've got my manual calculator ready, so that if anything I have to calculate manually and all that. And the other thing that I need to implement is the new strategy. I'm just going to be looking at the daily chart, H1 and M5. That's it. And I want to keep it so simple. I want to keep it so stupid simple that even if I don't want to follow it, I would be stupid not to be able to follow it. You get what I'm saying? Because even ICT says that your trading plan should fit on the back of a business card. It should be that simple. 3 lines and done. You don't need to have such a huge trading plan with so many things going on, so many time frames going on. M15, H1, daily chart, weekly chart, M5, M1. No, just 3 time frames. A simple entry technique. You're done for the day. If you don't see a trade, close your charts. If you lose one trade, close your charts. Wait for the next day. If there's no trade for the week, that's it. Wait for next week. So that's basically what we are going to do. So I think this video is a bit long, and I hope you forgive me for that, but I really needed to just let everything out. So that's me. That's week 9. Let's meet in week 10. Hopefully things will be a little bit better. I hope you got something out of this, and I hope you're doing better than me. So stay focused, stay strong, keep well. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe. Just be safe, guys, and God bless you guys.